Hi. Sorry, I feel like that was loud. I feel like that was energetic for me. Good morning. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Hi. Hello. I accidentally started the recording like a full 2 minutes before I started streaming, even though it's supposed to be kind of the other way around. But I don't start streaming like that soon beforehand. I just got confused. It happens to the best of us, yes, I suppose. That's what I'm gonna tell myself. And I don't have the game ready. I didn't even like I didn't even change my things, the things on Twitch that kind of like tell you what game it is and all that stuff. I didn't do that until I realized that I was missing stuff. So well, actually no, I realized that I didn't do it, and then I was like, wait a second, oh, I'm streaming and it says I'm doing something I'm not doing, and then it turned out that it didn't matter because I wasn't streaming anyways. But I hope everyone's having a good day and morning and afternoon and night and all that jazz. It kind of just depends on what you... Well, if you're watching it live, then it depends on your time zone. If you're not watching it live, then it just depends on how you feel, really. What time it will be that you're watching this. I imagine it's like a crisp afternoon getting close to evening though. Like when you're like, I don't know, I would usually watch like streams, like if I'm watching like the VOD for a stream, it's probably while I'm doing something like washing the dishes or whatever else I do. I do other things, of course. Definitely anybody who lives with me would attest to that. I definitely do not wash dishes that often. Write, draw, if I'm like writing or drawing, then maybe. But sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, it's kind of hard to focus. But I imagine that whenever I get back to like doing homework and stuff, it's gonna be a lot of VOD watching. If I'm doing it like when people aren't streaming, which now it's not gonna be. The stars aren't going to align. Usually, or back when I was in school, I was a little different time zone wise. So the time I was doing homework was like just right there. It would line up perfectly to when like my kind of favorites at the time were streaming. And I'm not sure, I feel like honestly I don't know if they've like really changed their stream time at all, or if they also end up like if they also stream earlier or later than they did when I was watching them at the time. But I do know. Wait, what was I talking about? I don't know if they changed their schedule, but I won't say exactly who, because I don't want it to be like, I don't know. I don't want you to know what time zone I live in. Well, I guess it would be fine, but I don't want to like explicitly state it, if that makes sense. Not too often, at least. I don't want it to be like, I don't know. It feels awkward to be like, yeah, you know? I don't know. I think I'm just being weird again, because I know I was kind of weird about like explicitly stating the names of people that I was talking about, even though it's my stream, so I can talk about them if I want to. And you know, so I think I'm just being weird again, but I'm just gonna let it happen. But usually whenever I have one of these little sick bits, instead of jumping right into that game, excuse me, I have something to talk about. Which I do. Well, I don't know. I think I talked about the YouTube videos and stuff that I wanted to make, or at least I mentioned the fact that I wanted to make YouTube videos. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't stick to it. So I was like, or not that I couldn't do it, because I could if I, you know, put my mind to it and stuff. But I ended up kind of committing to making a game instead, because, you know, that's where my interests lie. I have changed up some stuff just a little bit. I think it was my Twitter bio. Like, it was only my Twitter bio that I changed up, but I might also need to kind of comb through my other social medias. Excuse me, sorry. I did that directly into the microphone. I'm so sorry. But I changed it from, like, I added sort of explicitly saying that I was a game dev, because technically I am already, because I have made like games and stuff. But I think I'm gonna commit to the bit and like really kind of admit to it, or not. Like, I worry about saying that I'm a game dev and then looking like a sham. Because, like, not that I see people in similar situations, like, I don't think that they're shams. They're a game dev, then they're a game dev, you know? Who am I to take that away from them? But I am like, where's the game? I want to know what game you worked on. Where are they? But it's not like I actually asked the question, so it might just be I don't know. Game dev is a really like broad term that could mean a lot of things in terms of the role that you take on in the development of a video game. Because you could be, well, a lot of the people I follow are artists, so they could be just artists. But then I feel like with game developer, you end up being at least the person who designs the game, or somebody who's like a really, like, if you weren't on the team, then the game wouldn't have happened, or it would have been a completely different game, you know? Whereas, like, if you were just an artist, just a composer, then obviously things wouldn't be the same without you. But there is somebody who can fill that role. But if you label yourself as a game dev, and just a game dev, or a game dev, and then you also have your other titles, but it's that you're a game dev, not a character designer in games, or a composer in games, or something like that, then you might consider yourself like an integral piece of the development of whatever game you're talking about. That definition that I just came up with doesn't really matter though. And I don't know why I talked about it, but in that context, I did like the games that I have made were games that I kind of came up with conceptually. I do want to like do more with a lot of them. Some of them were programming projects, because I was studying like a kind of programming degree. Um, sorry, I'm distracted. I'm distracted. Oh no, I opened up Twitter. Oh no. Okay. But I had programming projects and I did those, like, not to say that they were stellar or amazing or innovative or anything like that, but you know, I did that. And then there was also a game that I did partial. I came up with the idea. I was like, oh, let's do this. And then the other person, well, I was working in a pair. The other person, they kind of came up with all the rules, like they ironed it out, everything, and decided how everything worked. And I just came up with like a, let's do a game that's inspired by this type thing. And that went pretty well. I think that might be it. I want to make more stuff. We're hopefully gonna make, no, not hopefully, we are going to make more stuff. I have an idea for a few, like, I want to do kind of short stories. I definitely need to make sure that I have myself just focused on short stories, not take it too far, so that I don't have this big project that ends up being something that I spend so much time on and something that I am not as happy as I possibly could be with it. No project is going to be perfect. There's always going to be something over time that I'm like, oh, I could have done better. But I definitely want to hone my skills a little bit before committing to something, you know? I think that I should hone my skills before committing to like a really big thing. And this thing that I'm working on right now, this character that you see in front of you, or the thing that this character was supposed to become, at least, was a really big thing. And the new character that you are not looking at, actually, I haven't shown you guys. They're not a new character. It's still me. It's still Marianna. It's still Mars, but in a different font. And I haven't shown it on YouTube, so some of you guys might have not actually seen it yet. But that's gonna be a little surprise for whenever that happens. My bad. I was young. Oh, okay. So the thing that you're looking at right now, this character, Marianna, me, a part of something really big. No longer. This version of Marianna is no longer. We have a new version with a new story, a new aesthetic. And that's also part of something big. But I'm gonna break it up into smaller stories. Hello. I was just saying that I was gonna break up the project into like multiple like small projects and stuff. So instead of trying to like tackle it, and it's gonna be a lot for especially a beginner and stuff. It's just gonna be like something like really small, hopefully really easy. I'm gonna try not to overcomplicate it, but knowing me, I will definitely overcomplicate it. So we'll see. I'm kind of torn between like two ideas. Oh, I had one idea that I was gonna do that I've been sort of like half working on for the past few-ish days. But now that I think about it, I feel like it would be better to start with the other idea I had, which talking about it vaguely is probably making it more confusing. But we'll get there. We will get there. I can really only talk about it vaguely because I don't want to explain my entire idea and post it onto the internet, and somebody with literally anything other, I don't know, anybody that wanted to could just see it, hear it, and use it. I wouldn't be able to stop them aside from like, hey, that's my idea. And I could, you know, I have video evidence. I posted this and stuff, but I don't know. I'd rather be vague about it, so we're gonna do that. But I'm excited. It's exciting. I like working on this stuff, which is good. I think that's it. That's actually the only thing I wanted to talk about. Everything else was like a random aside that I got caught up with by accident. See, gaming. Turn the music down. And there's gonna be a smidgen, just a smidgen of background noise, but it's fine. I know that it's not that loud. Oh, actually, I don't have the game loaded in. My bad. My bad. Wait. Supposed to do this earlier. Game capture. Capture Phoenix rate. Okay. There we go. Transition. There we go. We got it. I should have done a recap, actually. That's what I should have been talking about this whole time. I think the case just got more confusing because now we're looking at like two cases that happened at the same time, and it's also related to some other case that happened a few years ago. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm not sleepy, so we'll figure it out. If I was sleepy, then we'd be doomed. But I'm not, so we're okay. February 24th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. So, what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana, yeah, what is she doing here? Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. What does that mean? Indisposed? What does that mean? I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. I don't remember what happened yesterday. I don't remember talking to her. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So, how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you. Much to my regret. I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Sky. Oops, I used the wrong tone. Miss Sky. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. I forgot about that! Ooh. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, we're gonna accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Oh man, oh man, I shouldn't have skipped last week. I don't even remember what happened last week. For me to not have played the game yesterday. Not yesterday, last week. Oh, I shouldn't have skipped or else I would have actually known what was going on. Oh my god. I feel like I skipped 2 weeks actually. I don't know, man. I think I'm cooked. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. No, we are not. Hold on, I'm actually gonna change my what's it called? Okay, new title today is the defense is not ready, Your Honor. Because we are not. We are so cooked. What is Edward making that stupid face for? He's not ready either. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yeah. Yes. And then yes. And then the body... Wait, I'm adding words. Yes. And the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgewood's car. Wow. This is one messed up trial. Like, I'm thinking... Because it would make sense to me if he was stuffed into Edgewood's trunk before. Because if Edgeworth was in the evidence room at some point, and then Bruce went in after him, then, hold on, tab record, criminal ID, okay. So Edgeworth, Bruce Goodman went after him, so like, what if Edgeworth didn't leave until after Goodman was killed. Like that, it kind of makes sense to me that the way that Goodman got to the prosecutor's office is via Edgeworth's car. Like if he was stuffed into the trunk afterwards. That makes sense to me. But it's kind of long-winded, if that makes sense. Because it feels like it would take too much time. What could Edgeworth have been doing for all of... I don't know how long. I don't know. I'm gonna guess like a full like 20 minutes. If I did the math, actually. Like, but what could he have been doing in between that time for him to have been like lollygagging in the police department for Goodman to have been able to get stuffed into his car? Like, that part doesn't make sense. Actually, what time did he get to the what's it called? 5:12. Okay, Edgeworth got back to the prosecutor's office before Goodman went inside. But I forgot. It might not have been Goodman that went inside the evidence room. Because he lost his ID card and could not have gotten inside of the evidence room. That's my hypothesis. And because he lost his ID card, somebody stole it, somebody took it, somebody went inside the evidence room using Bruce Goodman's ID card and likeness. He was wearing clothes that made him look like Goodman. I remember that when the guy, I forgot his name, when he was like, "Hey, who are you? Because I don't really like recognize you." The guy, or Goodman, he pulled a gun on him, and that's not something you would do if you were doing something that you were supposed to be doing. And I don't think Goodman, in a game like this, would be the one to pull the gun on him. It was probably somebody else. But who was it? But I feel like we also need to know Meekins. It's Meekins. We also need to see if we can find out who the other people are who went inside. I think the 420 one doesn't really matter. 450 might. And definitely that. Actually, the other 514 one, that would be Meekins. Meekins went inside, so it's probably his. And I wish that Meekins would confirm it for us, but he didn't want to. He was like, "Please stop shoving evidence in my face. I remember that." He's like, "I don't know anything." Yes, you do. You don't know what your ID card number is? Guess I'm a nurse. Okay, but anyways. Wow. This is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Okay. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait. I mean, I think it is, because it doesn't leave room for people to doubt him, because he sounds like he knows what he's doing, even though in this specific moment he doesn't. I think that's actually very cool of him. Phoenix is just a hater. Excuse me. Very well. Let the trial resume. I haven't been drinking enough water today, by the way. I feel like I'm struggling. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? We all know it's not him. I feel like we all know it's not him. Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I am Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is that would be the murderer, sir. Meekins. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. What? I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've gotta believe me, sir. Actually, what? Sir, I'm what you would call part of a younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edwards, sir, help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that in order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Crime report, sir. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you? Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted, and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. You knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Crime reports. Okay. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room today. Let's press, or we're just gonna press everything. That's the rule of thumb. Mr. Meekins, you work at the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes, now that's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir. Yep. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for that day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Excuse me. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? Okay, so he wasn't guarding the evidence room. Well, he did tell us what happened, but I don't remember, so this recap is really good for me. He was checking the evidence room to go see the blue badger. Spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then your ID number should be listed on here, right? There it is. I found it. It's this one right here. Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir. I see. But the number... It's shown as being used twice. Oh! Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the blue badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen. Oh. That's good to know. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. Press it. He's keeping so much information from us. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife. Detective Goodman pulled the knife on you? What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person who would want to run into. Wait, yeah. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. I can agree with that, unfortunately. Weakens a lot of energy. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Wait, so that means... So if he was just trying to detain him, then how could he have possibly... Because I don't think he had a weapon on him, did he? Anyways, so he has a gash on his hand. Maybe you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be. When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life. Then I did it. We need more info on that. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I don't look like the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down just for an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. Oh. You took his knife? I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes, like a man. No. See. He must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then... Wait, so the blood on the floor was Megan's? And then, next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir. So it doesn't sound like you killed him. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned it to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. I mean, that's what I was thinking. It can't have been, it couldn't have been Goodman because he lost his ID. Yes, Officer Meekins? With regard to that, sir. Take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The chief? Delivered it? What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. Objection! What? When I specifically asked if there was such a tape, I was told that it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. Video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? He didn't murder him. This is so... I like the animation though. I think this is cool. Yeah, I don't think he murdered anybody. He didn't murder anybody. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with this with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggly piece of plywood? Sir, that's the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Hold on. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Okay, we might have to watch that again. I don't think I want to though. Well, yes. Well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room and some sort of act, Your Honor. Instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is it alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. Okay. So another testimony. We have more information. Meekins did not kill anybody. I'm pretty sure nobody thought that he killed somebody. And then his testimony does not include him killing somebody. He was attacked. He defended himself. The blood on the floor was not even, it didn't belong to the victim. It belonged to him. Apparently. So how did the victim, so that means Goodman didn't die in the evidence room. So why did they think that he died in the evidence room? Anyway, Mystery Man. His face couldn't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. True. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. So how are we gonna disprove that? What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have had to be Detective Goodman. My bad. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Okay, we're gonna watch that video again if we can. But I'd like to, like, if we can scrub through it, then that would be great. We have to watch the whole thing. Okay, I want to see if Detective Goodman, like, put his fingerprint on the thing. Or if there's any way that we can see that. It definitely wasn't, like, left open or, like, ajar in any kind of way. Oh. Weird. Okay. Something fell out. I don't really know what it was. Something that I noticed is that the locker on the very far left, it was like on the way out when he left, probably there was a cloth that was hanging out of one of the other lockers, which is crazy. Right there, like on the far left, that locker, it was not hanging out of the locker before. Okay, but I don't think it was Detective Goodman. So how would a person circumvent that issue? I don't know. How would they circumvent that issue? Well, I know how they would, because I know I'm thinking in like kind of TV shows or media. I know I talked about this last time. I remember that much. TV shows and media and stuff where you just find something that has the person's fingerprint on it and you put it on a piece of tape and you use that to like kind of plant fingerprints. That makes sense. But I don't know how you would I don't know how he did it, because there isn't really any evidence that suggests. There isn't really any evidence that really suggests that he was able to get any other fingerprints. I don't know. I don't know. We'll find it out when we're pressing him. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Okay, so we'll kind of comb through it and find contradictions rather than pressing it. Yeah, his face can't be clearly seen in the video. There's no question that that other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which requires Detective Goodman's fingerprints to do. That's true. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must have been him. No one else could have unlocked it. But there are ways to circumvent it. We just don't know how to disprove that. So we'll press the there's no question. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Why is everyone looking at me? Excuse me. If I had to label your stares as disturbing or beacons. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please, be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. I mean, you opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. I wonder what kind of methods he's tried. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person who the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir. And this too. Oh, but where's the contradiction? Ah, man. I want to try to do the fingerprint set and see if that can count as evidence to be like, hey, you know, it might be possible to get somebody else's fingerprints. Extremely thin rubber glove. Okay, we're gonna try the fingerprint step. Locker he open. Wait. That's not a contradiction. The other person's face can't be clearly seen in the video. That's true. There's no question. There is. Question it. Open the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened was unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. How do you know that information? It being his locker for sure. I've heard the rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know? The workers at the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. Okay. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. This the fingerprint? I'm thinking, but the fingerprint set doesn't really feel like concrete evidence. And there is the fact that Marshall's fingerprints are in there, but wait, the indicator lamp lights up when it's open. Wait, let me see. Is it already open? I didn't mean to do that. Jesus. Let me figure out what he's talking about first. Was it already open? Was it already open? It was! It was already open! It was already open! That's how we opened it. It was already open. Because the light indicator was already on. Oh my god. That means it was already open. Okay. There's one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may have not been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? No, I actually know what it is. Oh, I got it. Your Honor. Wait, interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point to us this alleged contradiction in the video. You would want me to point it out? Yeah, don't worry, I got you. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. Wait, I have to point out a problem in the video? This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where's the contradiction that indicates the man may have not been Detective Goodman? Wait, how do I pause it? Backspace? I do hate this video. It's the light. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint if it's a match. The light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, this is the way I understand it, sir. So if so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Are you making us watch the whole thing again? When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker. Let's rewind to a little earlier. Please, Phoenix, please. Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Order. What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by electronic system. When the door is shut, the sensor is triggered. And the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. It's not like it, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report a malfunction. Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jammed the system center. Something jammed the sensor, you say? There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. Can you read my thoughts? There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. Wright. Please point out the cause for this. The cause? I don't know what it is. Oh, I think something fell out, actually. Oh, it was the glove. Rewind. The glove was keeping it open. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Okay, we don't have to listen to the song this time. Song makes it way worse. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are open. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my... We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? There are other weird things about this video, and we're gonna have to revisit it later. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. Two out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the object would have had to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block the electrical current. It would need to be an insulator. Don't worry guys, I got you. Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene. There just might have been something that fits the description. Don't worry guys, I got you. But sir... Wait, oh, you didn't let me finish. I think I finally got this figured out. Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? Don't worry guys. What wasn't this insulator that was stuck inside the locker door? Or stuck in the locker door? It was this glove. This extremely thin rubber glove. I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker, but that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is that not so, Officer Meekins? It would appear so, sir. Order, order, order. So, are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? It doesn't even sound like he stabbed him. He just took the knife.
Objection!
Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in this video was indeed Bruce Goodman. It was definitely Officer Meekins. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. Mystery Man Part 2. There's one other thing that proves that man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card, but Detective Goodman lost his ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. He didn't use his card. An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime. Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for stirring certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleaned up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination. Okay, so we already know, or I know for sure, that was not him, because he lost his ID. But we have to figure out how we're gonna prove this. Enter the evidence room. One must use their ID card. This is true. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. This is true. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. I have. We're gonna try. We're gonna press it. Hold it. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't have been any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked. Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgewick to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we've got. Okay, so I think we're just gonna present ID card. An ID card is used, yes. Okay, so we're gonna present the evidence that we have that he might not have had his ID card. Wait one moment. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense? When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report. It's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there's a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather a man who stole his ID card. Order. Does the prosecution have a response? I have one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. The victim in this video is a fake. Then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is, well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. I get you, Mr. Edgeworth, because I know that you're gonna tell us that that means that Lana still did it because there's no proof that she didn't do it. That's the case that we're doing right now. That's the case that matters. The fact that Miss Lana Sky killed Bruce Goodman. Because we just proved that Officer Meekins didn't kill him. Well, it seems you finally realize exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means the murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Sky, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness. And observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. That witness lied. I knew the testimony was way too shabby. It was all just a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim of Officer Meekins' encounter? And where did this person disappear to? However, the trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... Oh, what am I gonna do? What to do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Well, the answer is to object. It's always to object. We didn't prove that Lana did it. We proved that Meekins didn't do it. But there's still something else that could have happened. I don't know. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. We don't have to watch the whole thing. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. Defendant demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor? If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Can she read my mind? Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Whom do you have in mind? Someone we have a reason to believe knows the truth. the truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify? What is his or her name?
Take that!
Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? Can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel like we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Okay. Yippee! I need water. I'm gonna go get water. I'll be like right back, but because I don't have like a model that moves, we're gonna like be BRB. I'm gonna BRB screen just for a little bit. My hair is so long now. I mean, it's just long in general. So much hair. Like I have to like kind of tuck it to the side when putting my earbuds on. Like they're just earbuds, but my hair's still in the way. Let me. Oops, I didn't read it. But that was just like the time and the date. It's February something. I'm gonna need some tea. Okay, what's up, Lana? There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems like you figured everything out. I haven't. I haven't figured anything out. Lana. You're the one who knows everything. Emma. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Oh. Excuse me. Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect me. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. No way. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And on top of it, and to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey. Hey. Okay. I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That was a lot of haze. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh. You mean this, right? My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making the request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But why? That's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? SL9 incident files received from Lana Sky. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just... Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? What? My name is in there? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Anna, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark... No. No, Lana. It's over with. No. Emma, wait. She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Star, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you, you might just be the one to... You might just be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. Okay, before we get back to the trial, we're gonna have to read that stuff with all this tense music and stuff going on. Okay. Incident number SL9. Closed. Perpetrator Joe Dark. Crime, serial murder, sentence, death. The victims: Edward Jones, Edith Kirby, Jeb Bates, Jason Knight, Rachel Moss, Neil Marshall. We're gonna want to remember that Marshall one because we've heard that last name before. Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Witnesses: Lana Sky, Emma Sky. Investigation Task Force. Executive Investigators Damon Gant, Lana Sky. Head Investigator Bruce Goodman. Investigators Jake Marshall, Angel Star. That's it. There's gotta be more. But okay. It's better to take a good look at this file. To be continued, but we're gonna keep playing tonight because it's not even 2 hours. We can keep playing. Yes. February 24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court number 9. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Oh. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Oh lord, hold on. Let me drink my water real quick. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. Oh my god. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edward described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is that correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is boundless as the desert sand. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. We are not getting it in plain English. Day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on the bone orchard. On that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. Can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon every cowpoke, even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines, or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Day of the crime. Okay. Please tell me what the bone orchard is. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I erased the tape. Nothing unusual was recorded. Tapes are to be erased in every 6 hours. Each time I erase a tape, I feel like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? I think you heard a word I said, partner. I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. No desperados I know join the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime. Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? Besides, that room's protected by two security systems anyway. You used to be a detective, so you used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a goldmine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism. Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how the bike works. That's quite, incredible. The sensors on the locker handle conduct, you see. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that you mentioned it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem like this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. You were at the what? What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not even angel steak lunches could beat that parlor's bongole sepia pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edward says, "Did you not want to erase this view?" I feel like he might not be in a position to say that. What is an innocent traveling man? So if you're out of ammo, it's time to hit the trail. Okay, so we have to look for a contradiction. Protected by two security systems anyways. Well, that's not true. But we did kind of establish that he just doesn't know about the other thing. Stone Orchard, make the rounds, but it ain't my style. Besides that we're protected by two security systems. Well, I guess we'll present this thing and be like, well, that's not true. So, well, we're gonna do it, but I don't think it's gonna really go well. The witnesses oh, no, it's not. I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you, Mr. Wright. Okay. I must be on the wrong track. I was. Okay, so the room's protected by two security systems anyways. We kind of established that that's, like, it just doesn't, he doesn't know about the other ones. He knows what he's talking about. He was gone. We can check let's check the record and see, because we have reason to believe that he was not in the street side saloon. He was doing something else, because his fingerprints were in the thing. Okay. Oh, the music stopped this time. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your bloodstained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, luminol tests clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Mr. Marshall? About bloodstained fingerprints. About the bloodstained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. One of them just happened to be in the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? What? See? I had nothing to do with it. How do you know he was wearing gloves? What are you talking about? The witness's explanation appears valid. Although there's room for doubt. There is so much room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something, I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Okay. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. Okay? One of them just happened to be. That's weird. So then, what about this bloody handprint? It wasn't mine. It's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened the murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. What? No! He opened it! Because... Remember the video? Do you remember? I pointed it out earlier. That in the video, his locker had been opened. That's not true. He's lying. Oh, he's lying. Hold on. We're gonna press this. And then we're probably gonna evidence it. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward out of... Wait. You ain't gonna get no reward for me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? Okay. So... we're going to present the video because he opened the locker. The evidence is this evidence clearly reveals a contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. How exactly are that evidence and the statement just now related? There are. What? They are. Wait. Okay. I think it's a different statement, but he opened it. He opened it. I don't think that won any points with the judge. Okay. The murderer touched my locker. So I said that. Bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? What? Oh, wait. I want to press that. How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a bloodstain at the scene, not to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's handprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Okay, so I know what's going on. It didn't. Okay, we're gonna present again. We're gonna present the videotape because, oops, because I know he opened it. How do I prove that he opened the locker? He opened it. He opened it. He opened it. How do I prove that he opened it? Evidence from floor plans, lost item, fingerprinting set, ID card record, luminol testing fluid. How do I prove that he opened it? Bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. No, they're not. He might have been wearing gloves, but that's not really for sure. Wait. No, I don't know. I'm so close. I don't. Okay. Let's say in the fingerprint. The where I touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. One of them just happened to be the same place as the body. That's because you. How did you put it? Pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. That's the information we were missing. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently, his fingerprint data was never removed from the locker's programming. So he must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without even ever knowing it. Marker shows fingerprints updated to the court. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? The seal of blood in the desert. It's just food for the buzzard. There's only one reality, and that's this. Security tape. As long as my trail isn't there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully what you're going to do with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Mr. Officer. Oops. Too bad it wasn't me in the video, right, partner? Wait. So that added that part. And I'm pretty sure I pressed everything else. Okay. You were in the video. Well, no. But I can prove that it was you. Just give me one more chance. Give me one more chance because he opened the locker. No. Okay, so I had to press that statement? Exactly. Okay, so they're not. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. Camera's paneling back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, can you show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present? Please? I can do it. I've been trying to do it this whole time. I lost my entire bar of health. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making mistakes. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us the incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake, I'm afraid. You'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He got it. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witness's, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Please, rewind it faster. Please. Oh, the white cloth, it's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, a white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the scene at the time of the crime. Excuse me, what's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order. It would seem. Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. There's no one else who could have opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just plain dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker? Now prove it. Well, the light wasn't on. But it's because it's a fingerprint. It's a fingerprint locker. What? Fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people who, on the force, who don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? I only got 1 word for you, partner. No! Order, order, order. Witness, explain yourself. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now please, tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay, please answer the question. What is he now? A blood flyer? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the victim? Probably... Officer Marshall was standing right here. There? But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman, which we already kind of established. I believe the victim in this video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. That's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the scene of the crime. Once he saw the man's face, he'd known for sure. May I point out that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes. And how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If a man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on the ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized that man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. We've got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. Can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. Can't say I care for your beer, but you don't see me complaining. Well, Mr. Wright, Do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of doubt? Let me check the court record. Chill. Because I don't want to say yes. The answer in my idea is no, I do not. This unstable jar. I don't think we have any evidence that proves beyond a shadow of doubt that it was Marshall. That Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? No. Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. It seems you're the one who couldn't take desert heat. This can't be happening. It's so obvious that he's the one. What can I do? Looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, turn to the basics. The basics. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside of the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise, but rather I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. What do you think this locker was open? Why do you think this locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance that it might have been discovered later, as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth was sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? I mean, it must have been SL9, was stuff. Perhaps the video is the key to all of our unanswered questions. While having evidence, so the video is my only shot. Very well. Let's take another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away a white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker. I'm sorry, I'm trying to see if he had a white cloth on him. I only have one mistake that I can make. I only have to redo all of this stuff. I mean, he's got blood on his coat, but I don't know. He's blood from Officer Meekin's hand. Mm. Hmm. I don't really know if I know what it is. Um. Oh, maybe I guess it must be the jacket. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. Wait a second. Tab. Okay, so that's a different coat. So that's his actual coat, it must be. No. This might be the coat that was stuck into the... So how did she get a coat? Soiled with blood. Bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Now then, Officer Marshall, you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgewood. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it. Alright. Seems the time has come. Yay! We got the confession! I still have like one mistake left. Marshall's confession. Next time we're just gonna press everything. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID card and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Were we not listening to Meekins before? He said that he was laying in a pool of his own blood. Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for a small donation. Alright, now we cross-examine Marshall's confession. We have to... My bad. Sleepy. I'm getting sleepy. Okay. Marshall's confession. We're gonna press everything this time because the reason why I made so many mistakes before is just because I didn't press. So let's press. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it all die. When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. Okay, wait. I was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? Oh, we're really at a turning point. I'm sleepy. It's okay. I'm gonna check something. Because we might end it here. I think we might end it here. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why I... Okay. We're gonna save on Marshall's confession. But we're gonna save in slot 2. I definitely want to have like my head on like fully straight before I try to do this. Hold on, I'm sorry, it's too chatting, transition, yippee. That was really abrupt. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I can't. I want to be so fully engaged. I want to know exactly what's going on when we get to the bottom of this. And I was so on it, but I made so many mistakes, and I don't want to have to like do it over again if I can help it. For tonight. But I'm excited for next week. I think next Sunday I have a pretty lax kind of schedule. So, there shouldn't be really any reason why you have to like skip the stream. So we're not gonna do that. But that was wow, you know, a lot of points turned a lot of turning points. I definitely I don't know what's going on with my voice today as well. I feel like I wasn't speaking as clearly as I tend to sometimes. But maybe I was. I don't think I'm a clear speaker, so I should expect too much. Sorry, just a lot of yawning coming out of me. A lot of yawning coming out of me. Tomorrow I'm gonna drink some tea. I'll make sure to drink some tea. I should have drank some beforehand or prepared some tea beforehand, but I didn't, unfortunately. Yeah, it's okay. Alright, that's a little bit. Let's see. So Ace Attorney again next week. We're getting to the bottom of the SL9 at least. Like now we have a little bit more information. We know that like everyone was involved and not just most of them. And I understand that Marshall is probably wanting to, like, he doesn't want the case to die because his, brother died. But we'll see. I'm guessing it was his brother, but it could be like literally anyone else. We just know that they share a last name. What else? What happened? I don't know. We'll do our recap next week. I'll probably kind of try to watch the VODs. And try to get an understanding of what we know, because I'm pretty sure, at least in terms of all of my speculation, I'm kind of at like a standstill, because now we know that Officer Marshall was in the room. We know what he was doing in the room because he confessed. We know that, well, I already knew that Meekins was the victim, basically. He was bleeding out on the floor. But aside from that, we don't really have anything else going on, I don't think. Just because we still, like, so the murder did not happen in the evidence room, but the murder did happen in the parking lot, and we still don't really know what happened with that. So it sounds like we have two kind of mysteries. One of them is still what happened at the parking lot, and one of them is the SL9 incident overall. We have to figure both of those things out still. And I have no idea what happened in the parking lot. I can't even begin to imagine what happened to the SL9 incident, or what it really has to, or at least what any evidence was for. But in my opinion, it's got to do with Damon Gant, because you know how the guy, he gets revealed. The characters that get revealed, they're suspicious. Damon Gant, he's not just nobody, he's also involved in the case. So we need to figure out what his connection to it is. Yes, we need to figure out his connection to the what's it called? Kind of wish I had like a moving YouTube remote. If you could see me right now, I'm basically like I'm just talking with my eyes closed, ready to like doze off. This really, my sleepy arc is coming. I don't know. I do kind of want to like, maybe not announce it, but I am trying to get like a new like model, and I don't know if I should wait until I finish the series that I wanted to finish first. One of them being this Ace Attorney case specifically. And maybe Bayonetta, but not Sekiro. We are going to play Sekiro again. We are going to. This is for sure. But it's gonna take a long time. Wait. Did I just commit to finishing Sekiro? No, I didn't. No. I did not do that. I'm not finishing that game. We're gonna play it again. We're gonna play it a lot more agains, but I'm not committing to the finishing that. You did not hear that from me. No. I want to get into streaming more than just once a week, but I know that it's gonna be a challenge to like keep up with it, especially when my schedule is up on the air. Because with this, on Sundays right now, I know I can stream on Sundays. I know for sure that I can stream on Sundays. But if I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stream Sundays and Tuesdays, and Tuesdays are a little bit more up in the air. Tuesday is not available for me. The Tuesday might be available. Actually, it's not available for me next week. Well, actually, technically it is because of when I stream, but it's also a matter of like my sleep schedules and all that stuff. We can make it work. I think it would be nice if I could stream like 3 times a week, but this is just from like my own personal enjoyment. I do need to kind of lock in and get it together in terms of like because this is about having fun for me. This is a fun thing for me. I'm doing this for fun. I'm not doing it for money. But I do want to like kind of treat it seriously as I can, and I want to treat it like it's something that I could get paid for. You know, I want to invest in this as a thing that could make money, because that's the kind of world that we live in right now, where you gotta kind of capitalize as much as possible, and you gotta find any opportunity you can to sort of make something. You gotta make something out of something. So even though like the projects that I was talking about, wanting to do games, like that kind of stuff, it's for fun. I'm doing it for my own enjoyment. That's what it's all about. And I'm not gonna get upset. I'm not upset when it comes to like numbers and stuff. I'm not worried about them. But so like when it comes to like numbers and stuff and like wanting to monetize, I'm not worrying or stressing over the numbers themselves, or I'm not like, oh, I should do this or this and this so that I can grow on social media and stuff. I'm not like that, but I am like, I want to make something that I'm proud of and people will gravitate towards it. Like that's sort of the mentality that I have, because I think that's not how it works algorithm wise, but I believe that if I break something, I put my whole heart into it, then it will be found. And it's not that I necessarily want it to be found, but I do want something to come from it so that I can get money, you know? But why did I bring that up? I don't know. I think my cue. That's my cue. Look forward to next Sunday. More Ace Attorney. We're gonna figure out what's going on. Hopefully, we're gonna get through Jake Marshall's testimony and probably move on to the next one. Honestly, we could probably finish this this like latter part, but I don't know if there's gonna be anything else to investigate after this. And then we have a game project that is in the works that I should keep my mouth shut about, but I'm not going to. And then something I didn't mention, we're gonna try to get another VTuber model, another PNG tuber model. Yes, look forward to those. I know I'm excited. I know I am. I'm so excited, but I'm also so sleepy. So I will say thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for I don't know. I guess the way I want to put it is your time and your attention are very valuable things, and I very much appreciate you spending any of it on me. I usually ramble more, but I'm so sleepy. So good night. I'm so sleepy. Good night.